The Supreme Court just issued a stay in the case of Trump v. American Federation of Government Employees. Now, for those of you who don't remember, a stay is essentially a pause button that the Supreme Court hits on a lower court order. In this case, the district court had issued a preliminary injunction against a Trump executive order that allowed certain agencies in the government to begin preparing to lay off large sections of government employees. I'm Brian. I make videos about civics and law. You can find a copy of this case in my shared documents in my link tree. Please comment and engage with this video so that it will get out there and people will see it. I've already seen the news. It sums up this case in a way that I would not say is 100% accurate. So let's talk about what's actually going on here. We have both a concurrence from Justice Sotomayor and a dissent from Justice Jackson, which give us collectively a lot of insight into why this stay was issued and what exactly the implications of it might be. So let's talk about it. Now, just a real quick overview. The executive order that issued here told a bunch of different agencies to begin the process of downsizing. And those agencies included a long list, but it included Department of Agriculture, Veterans Affairs, the National Science Foundation, EPA, and the Social Security Administration, among others. Now, there are certain powers that belong to Congress and certain powers that belong to the president when it comes to deciding who belongs in the workforce and how big these agencies are supposed to be. And so there is a legitimate question here as to whether or not the president overstepped his bounds by saying, okay, we're going to go ahead and start downsizing these agencies. And exactly what he said in this executive order is kind of what this stay turns on. And it's laid out really clearly when you put Sotomayor's concurrence up next to Jackson's dissent. Jackson is treating this executive order like Donald Trump is saying, okay, we are going to start downsizing these agencies, and that's what we're doing. Get to work. And if the question were before the court whether or not he were allowed to do that, that would probably be more of a discussion. But the rest of the court, including explicitly Justice Sotomayor, don't agree that that's what he did here in this executive order. Justice Sotomayor cites the language of the executive order itself, saying that it directs agencies to plan reorganizations and reductions in force, quote, consistent with applicable law. And as both the majority and Justice Sotomayor say, the plans themselves are not in front of the court yet. We don't know what the plans are. We haven't seen the reduction in force plan. We don't know what the plan is. For all we know, consistent with applicable law could mean, okay, we're going to write this up and take it to Congress and go ask them how they feel about it. Justice Jackson, on the other hand, reads this executive order a different way and feels like President Trump is saying, screw Congress, we are going to start reducing force right now, get to work, start firing these people. Now, there are two possible things going on here. One is that Justice Jackson and the rest of the court have a difference of opinion of what this executive order says. The other is that Justice Sotomayor and Justice Jackson are laying out two sides of a walkable path here. Justice Jackson is letting the executive branch know, hey, you are not allowed to execute a Reduction in Force Act unless you go to Congress first, and if you are to try it, this is the argument you're going to face. Justice Sotomayor, meanwhile, is saying, hey, I'm joining the rest of these guys. We're going to put this stay in because you haven't crossed the line yet, but I just want to remind you where the line is and warn you not to cross it. Justice Sotomayor also says at the end of her concurrence, hey, I don't have these plans in front of me, so I can't tell you whether they crossed the line yet or not. But I'm concurring in this stay because it allows the district court to consider whether they cross the line or not. So she is allowing the district court another chance to reject this once the plans come out. So that's where we're sitting right now. I don't believe this has allowed any firings to move forward at all. This has only allowed the administration to start moving forward in writing plans to fire people. Reduction in forces are like a big, well thought out plan to reduce the size of certain agencies, but they have to consider seniority. They have to make sure that the organizations are still going to be running properly. They have to consider all kinds of things. Reductions in force are not easy to pull off. Clinton tried it. It is not a simple thing. And at least according to Sotomayor, it requires that they be done in accordance with the law, and the laws are not easy to follow. So this stay is not allowing a bunch of people to get fired. It's allowing a report, basically, to be written. Now, if you work for one of these agencies, I can't tell you that your job is safe. Who knows what will happen tomorrow? But based on this order alone, I don't think the administration is allowed to move forward with firing a single person based on this stay. But I have been wrong before. That doesn't mean they won't try. Larry, thank you for your support. Anybody else who wants to support me, there are ways to do it in my link tree on my profile. You can also download a copy of this case there in my shared documents. Please comment, like, repost this video, get it out there for people to see it, and let me know if you have any further questions. Thanks for watching, everybody.